Mays County, Charles Trammell is here. And Charles deserves a round of applause because he's also one that helped us put the information out to you guys about this event. So thank you very much, Charles. Thank you. Okay, please stand and salute the flag and pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to get together and donate them a flag with a stand here at the hotel after this event is over. So we're ready to get started with the prayer now. Charity, please stand for the prayer.
Lord, we come before you as we're trying to save this country. God, we're fighting a spiritual battle on a political battleground. And we just ask for your direction and your guidance and your anointing as we go forward and do what you call us to do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
That was Charity Lynch. She's the chairman in Craig County, doing a fabulous job in Craig County. So we appreciate that, Charity. And I'm going to turn over to your moderator right now, and that's going to be Linnell Medley, the chairman in McIntosh County. So we're going to have about a 20-minute discussion from the former administration, people that were involved in that, to give you some ideas about what works and what we feel doesn't work as far as being a leader in the party. And so Charity's going to kick that off. So how many of you believe that the OKGOP rules probably need to be rewritten at some point? Yeah. Okay. So we thought it would be appropriate, since we're having a meeting here seeking leadership for the future, that it would be good for us to have a few bullet points about what it says in OKGOP rules about what a chairman and vice chairman do under the party rules. The first thing I want to point out is that some of us are, we're used to an executive branch of government. And the OKGOP rules were not written with an executive branch in mind. Everything's a committee. Everything's a committee. And everybody is a part of a committee of some sort. So the chairman and vice chairman of the party, along with treasurer, secretary, and others, are actually officers of the state committee, is what they are. They're not a separate branch of government, if you will. And I think it's important to realize that that's sort of a servant position, that you're really serving the state committee and thereby serving the entire OKGOP membership. What it says here is that the chair and vice chair act as the executive officers of the committee. Obviously, vice chair serving in that capacity when the chair is not available. The second thing it says that they're supposed to enforce the OKGOP rules and carry out resolutions that are passed either at conventions or at state committee meetings. The third thing is that to maintain files and records at the state office. Make sure that transition occurs from one administration to the next with all the financials and all the other records that are supposed to be left there at the state headquarters. The fourth thing it says is to assist in national elections, And then the final thing is to supervise campaigns within the state level campaigns. I think that we've seen an age over the last number of years where we have consultants and we have a lot of money coming in from a lot of places that we can or cannot identify. And so it's made the job of the state chairman or vice chairman a little difficult to supervise statewide elections. But that's part of the role that they serve. So those are the things that a person by rule is duty-bound to do when they become elected. And we just wanted to make sure that that was something that you, if you have not read the rules, that's what it says.
Great job, Vince.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to your very first, can you hear me okay? Okay, to the very first Republican Grassroots meet and greet. I am one of your hosts and one of several volunteers who have put this together. When I was elected as McIntosh County GOP chair, one of my quotes that is one of my favorites is by a podcaster named Flyover Conservators. And what they said is, we're all looking for President Trump to do 80 million things to save America. And what we're looking for is 80 million people who will all do one thing to save America.
That's true.
So that's what we're all here to do. That's what each and every one of you in this room, every one of our volunteers, we are here to try to do at least one thing to try to save America. And that's all we can do. We will never give up. We will never stand down. And we will never forget that God is on our side.
Amen.
So tonight, we have a real treat for you. We have some VIPs from Chairman Bennett's administration that are going to answer some questions for you. They're going to talk about the roles, the responsibilities, just anything that might be involved in the role that a chairman would play, as well as, just some things that you need to know, some characteristics that you want to look for in your quest tonight. So the first one, let me see. Okay, I would like for each of you, to introduce yourselves.
You've
And
already
please,
met me. I'm Vince Scopus. Stand up.
Just stand up.
I'm Dwayne Schroyer. I'm the former treasurer of the state GOP when John Bennett was in office.
My name,
It's on.
it became unscrewed. My name is Jonathan Krems, and I was the Deputy General Counsel.
And I'm Leslie Nesmith. I was the Chief of Staff. And I also want to say that we have others who were in John Bennett's administration here today, but a couple of them are actually considering running for either state party chair or vice chair, so they're not in the middle. We did not want it to appear swampy, so they are not up here with us for that reason, not because we've asked them.
so I'm going to ask that you hold all of your comments until the end, and we may have time for a couple of questions, but I do want you to give these guys a hand, because they work really hard. So let's get started. Dwayne, the first question's for you. I heard that there's an SEC audit, and it is underway at the OKGOP. So what is the scope of this audit? And can you please explain what time period is included? And also, are you expecting substantial fines to result from this audit?
Well, first, I have one comment to make, and I think I got a promotion because I think they introduced us as VIP. I'm aware of that.
It's very important people.
Yeah, but when I was the treasurer, I was contacted by the FEC and made aware that they were going to audit the Oklahoma State GOP. I think you asked for the scope of the audit. It's a
The time frame and any fines.
Yeah, well, the time frame of the audit is for the previous administration, which would have been the McLean administration, and part of the previous administration, which would have been the Pollard, I think, administration. So that's the time frame. What was the other thing
Do you expect significant fines?
I can't really speculate on what might come from the audit. I think the current chairman of the GOP is here. He may be able to comment on that. It was not completed by the time
I don't think
left.
he wants to share that with us.
But anyway, that's where that stands as far as I know.
Vince, please explain the purpose and duties of a volunteer coordinator in a grassroots administration.
Well, first of all, the key to that question is grassroots. And, if you're a leader and you want to avail yourself of people who will help you, and bring all sorts of varied talents with them and passion, then you can do that in OKGOP because we are a grassroots organization from the bottom up, are we not?
Yes.
Okay. So my role when we came in, there were nobody there except Donna Bowling was answering the phone when we got there. Bless her heart. And so we were able to, by the time we left, we had about 25 headquarters volunteers. Some of those were financial people, accounting, and some of them were answering phones. Some of them were helping with our precinct training program that we rolled out. Some of them were reaching out to counties and county chairmen and talking to people. And our job was to make sure that we treated every single call that came into that headquarters with due respect, whoever that may have been. If it was CNN calling in, wanting to comment, okay, we treated them with due respect. So the role of the volunteer coordinator, which is just something that Chairman Bennett decided to do, is to staff the state headquarters and make sure it operates as a business that it was designed to do, and that there's continuity. That's the role.
Jonathan, you're up next. Tell us about your duties and responsibilities as Deputy General Counsel under Chairman Bennett's administration.
So, first of all, the rules say that the chairman gets to appoint a general counsel. As a strategic matter, Chairman Bennett wanted 2 attorneys. He wanted a strategic advisor to be the general counsel, which was Rex Duncan, who's not here tonight. And then he wanted a deputy general counsel, which was myself. And my role was to help with interpreting the OKGOP rules, to help with parliamentary procedure. I helped with transactional matters that were kind of outside of Rex's scope because he's more litigation oriented. And fourthly, I helped with the appointments process. The rules say that the chairman is supposed to make all these different appointments within the first 60 days. And so I wasn't designating people for that, but I was helping develop job descriptions and things so that we could find people to fill those functions.
Miss Leslie, what do you feel was your greatest challenge of being Chief of Staff?
Okay, so the greatest challenge was probably the endorsement that Chairman John Bennett made of Jackson Lawmeyer. Who remembers that? That was a big controversy. Nobody remembers that. That was a very challenging situation for a number of reasons. So obviously, when you have somebody that makes a statement that bold and you endorse someone in a primary like that, and it's not the incumbent, you're probably going to make some people mad. So that's exactly what happened. So it did create some challenges, but it also, what I found with most of the challenges that we faced, was it really highlighted things that needed to change. So one of the things that I said was, what is the issue with this? You know, I probably wouldn't have made that endorsement, but there's not a rule saying that you can't. So one of the things that I said was, this is an example of a rule that needs to change. If we're going to hold people accountable to a rule, it needs to be an actual rule, and not just a simple precedent or practice or something we've done in the past.
Dwayne, in your opinion, what needs to be done to restore the faith of grassroots Oklahoma Republicans in the financial operations of the state GOP party?
Well, that's a simple answer. A lot.
Do you have any suggestions?
Right now, I think there really are hardly any rules in the state rules that dictate any processes or procedures.
Right.
If you want to know what's happening with the finances of the state party, you really have to go to the FEC website, look up the state party, or the OEC website. A lot of people don't really know how to do that or aren't familiar with what's on those sites, so it's hard to know. So I think And what we tried to do during the Bennett administration is we published an income and expense statement every month. So it was clear what was coming in and what was going out and where it went. And I think, people want to know that. If you're going to give money, your hard-earned money, and we had people giving $10, $15 a month, they want to know what it's being spent on.
Right.
So I think transparency in the financials is really, really important. The other thing I think, and if you were running a business the way, the GOP is run for the most part, it'd be out of business. I mean, there's no processes, there's no procedures, there's no nothing. It's like whoever shows up, the next administration, they just get what's there and have to run with it. And there's no transition or no continuity from one administration to the other. And I think, you have systems, accounting systems, you have email systems, your contact management systems. I mean, there's just all kinds of systems that are in place that need to go on, from one administration to another. And I think there's some positions that actually need to be permanent. For instance, there is a lot of detail and regulatory requirements around FEC stuff. And you bring somebody in there that has no background in that, has never done it before, but because whatever you appoint them to a position, then the record keeping and all the things associated with that, really there's nothing for them to go by. And so I think you need to have some permanent positions that go from one administration to the other that are paid, that are in these critical areas. I think treasurer's one of them. I really do.
That makes sense. Then, to what extent can volunteers perform duties that would be otherwise paid positions?
Okay, I think it's fairly clear to those in the room and around the state that when John Bennett made certain statements that he made about endorsements, and I think maybe even before that, there were a number of people decided they didn't want to contribute to the party. And I feel that there was some effort to basically strip John Bennett of funds. But what was proven by us is that you don't have to have $24,000 a month, such as what was coming in previously. We ran the OKGOP, thanks to this penny pincher sitting next to me. We ran the OKGOP for $10,000 a month.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Now I was asked the other day, well, how would you guys have done a convention? Did you have money? I said, well, first of all, we wouldn't have spent $160,000 for a convention. We would have spent about $5,000 for a convention. And so that's how we were going to do it. But we were able to fill roles that otherwise would be paid positions. And I'm a big believer in volunteerism. I think that your pay grade actually hurts you in some ways. When you're retired like I am and you're motivated, you want to get in there and work. I don't want to dime. And I don't want to be paid. Now, some people may want to get paid. But I'm telling you, we had a county. Sounds like one of our staff meetings that we have. I said, some people want to get paid, but not you. And he didn't. We had accountants, small business leaders, we had an auditor, we had a nurse, retired nurse, we had educators, we had we had an engineer, we had a wide variety of people that were really smart. And all you got to do is tell people you want them, and they will show up.
That's right.
And then you tell them what's going on, you keep them informed of what's going on, because they want to know. These are smart people.
That's right.
They don't want to be mushroomed, just go answer that phone. No, they want to know what's going on. And if you do that, you can run the state headquarters on the cheap if you need to, and we do.
That's all right.
Yeah.
What do you believe was the most challenging rules-related issue that you dealt with?
Well, I think by far it's the proxy rule. I think that's the most controversial one. In my opinion, and I think Rex Duncan, who is not here, would agree, although I'm not speaking for him, it's been abused by establishment-type Republicans. We've had too many bad precedents set, and that rule either needs to be removed completely or it needs to be significantly overhauled. There you go.
Leslie, tell us why it's important to coordinate with the grassroots.
Okay, so for the grassroots organizations, I believe is what we're talking about there. So we had a very robust program with grassroots organizations from the Oklahoma Second Amendment Association, which Don Spencer is here somewhere. OKGOP, and a number of other organizations. Why is this important? There were a number of times that we needed to get something out quickly. Whether it was a news release or something breaking that happened that we need to get out there immediately, and I could text 5 leaders who have statewide organizations, and we could get that message out there very, very quickly. So we use them for that purpose, but also a lot of them have different platforms and reasons for existing. So when there is something that the legislature is dealing with, or there's some other hot topic politically related, these organizations help us attack those issues and go after them. So OKHPR with the health and parental rights issues, and OK2A with the gun issues, and just all kinds of freedom issues. These organizations, they're very helpful. We worked with them. They helped us get people to our events. How many people here came to Boots and Bling?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, we planned that event, and we got a lot of pushback from a lot of establishment types. I hate using that word, but it's just a fact. And they did everything they could to stop that event. But our grassroots partners, they got the word out. That was a wildly successful event. Yep. I think that we brought in about 17,000, and then after expenses, it was maybe 14 or 15,000. But that's pretty substantial on no budget.
Yeah.
So that's why
Dwayne, how much money does it take to operate the OKGOP headquarters each month? I think Vince may have answered that.
Well, I have to correct these. I wish I had $10,000 a month, but basically, the bare bones requirements to run the office, the rent, the utilities, the internet, the phone system, accounting services, outside accounting services, and all that is somewhere around $7,000 a month. And that's if you do nothing. Right. Answer the phones and that's it. But that's what it takes. And then anything above that you want to do, you just add on. So.
Okay. Vince, could a new grassroots chairman and vice chairman expect significant volunteer support with HQ operations, fundraising, training, and communications?
Yeah, I saw that question before, so I was ready. And I told all of my our headquarters volunteers, if we have the right leadership, the right heart, okay, the right stick-to-itiveness, the right appreciation for people,
That's right.
okay, we will have an overwhelming number of people that want to help volunteer to run the state office and elsewhere. So I'm going to have everybody that was in the Bennett administration and everybody that would even like to be part of the state headquarters of a grassroots organization, please come up to the front. Just come on up, everybody. We're here. Come on. Come on. This is a smattering of some of the people that were involved in the state, or the training, or the events, or running conventions, running state meetings, etc. So, whoever's going to run
Slide up
and
front
win,
here. They might take your picture. Very quick.
All right.
What are the most important attributes you believe the next chairman should have?
Well, the two things that I think that are most important.
Sorry, yeah, let me say it. What would be the most important attributes you believe the next chairman should have?
Okay, so the two things that I'm looking for are someone who shares our grassroots conservative ideology. And at that time can work to be a consensus builder in our party.
Yes.
That is someone who is not going to be a polarizing candidate or a polarizing chairman if they are elected. We need someone who can come in and unify our party around our platform and around our grassroots conservative values. And that's what's most needed.
Leslie. What advice do you have for the next chairman and vice chair?
Okay, let's see. Let me think about that for a second. So, advice for the
Limited
next...
to 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay, so I would say one of the things that we did at the very beginning of the Bennett administration was we said we're going to invite everybody, every faction, group, organization. If you say, I'm a Republican, we're going to say, okay, we're going to have you represented at the table, okay? Even people, and we got pushback from some of our super conservative friends. They didn't want certain people at the table. But that's okay. We had everybody come to the table, but guess who left the table? The people who didn't want the conservative values. They're the ones that pushed their chair back and said, you know, I don't want to be a part of this. So the important thing for the next chairman is to, one, you want to be inclusive in a way that's not, you know, the squishy inclusive that the Democrats talk about. It's about you bring ideas and people to the table. You work together where you can, and if you can't work with somebody, then you have to make the decision: do I completely cut them off and say, sorry, you can't be a part of the party any longer, or do we just go, hey, you know, Jake, we don't agree on everything, which we probably agree on a lot. But work with them where you can, and then we have to get to where we can agree to disagree. Now that doesn't mean, you know, for those of you who are Christians, which I know a lot of people in here are, we need to start thinking about how we interact, not only politically. We need to put that through the lens of being a Christian. We need to share the gospel with people, but we also need to be honest, connect, and just intentionally reach out. That's the thing about it. To people, even those that we don't agree with. Okay, we have to. Because every person truly has value unless they truly are a rhino. I'm just going to say.
There's such a thing as a rhino.
That is a rhino. Now, just because you and I might not see eye to eye on everything, and that's one thing, and this is one thing that the team heard a lot and probably got sick of hearing, and that is we use the words, you've heard this, rhino and establishment way too often and way too interchangeably. Okay? There are true rhinos. There are. Joy Hoffmeister is a rhino. She is. Okay? But think about it like this, and I'm not going to get on my soapbox, but think about this. If we don't communicate with people who think differently than us, how do we expect to ever persuade them to come to our side? Amen. So if I cut you off completely because we don't agree and because you have whatever different, I was going to say something, I thought, I don't want to say that. But if we have a difference, it benefits us to talk and not to sever that relationship because of the difference. Because I might be able to change your mind, or you might be able to change my mind. Not likely, but but we're also on the same page. Yeah. So anyway, that's that.
Okay, this concludes our forum portion. We're going to take about a 5-minute break. Go use the restroom, refill your cup, do your survey if you haven't done it already, and so forth. We're going to let the speakers prepare.
Speakers, yes, and speakers, those of you who are speaking, if you could please, after you... We're going to take a 5-minute break, so everybody rest, relax, go get some snacks from the kitchen, get yourself something to drink. We're going to be back. We're just going to let it kind of play out, because you're part of us. If you're watching, you're part of us. Okay.
I'm wild guess to be you're a Catholic.
Well, I was raised Roman.
No, Catholic.
Oh, I'm the cat lady. Yes, I'm sorry. I thought you said Catholic. I was raised with the state. That's me, meow.
With Italian surname, what else would it be?
How does that mean?
One day I'm not going to do a program.
A lot of stuff. And there are unwritten rules.
They're kind of like what I was catching for 3 weeks. That's why you do great interviews. We need to get a voice out. And if you want to send me your contact information, have you seen John Spencer? Have you seen that?
I haven't. I thought that was, even though she was slighted on that, and got
and all that.
We need to have an executive director. We're not developed that way. But one man, because they control the party, and that's how they do it in other states.
We're grassroots. I'll do it remote if that's safe. But I'd much rather be on Zoom.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to email you.
Okay.
Yes, because we so need that information. Yeah.
The big part of it is
Are you ready? Let's see. Well, let's see.
Love it. I'm going to email you when I get home.
Cool.
All right. Love
You
it.
have a card?
Thank you. Yes, I do. I'm going to get you my card.
Okay, if you got time.
Yes.
Is there anyone who is wanting to speak as a potential candidate? You don't have to officially announce today, but if you are considering possibly running for state party chair or vice chair, now is your opportunity to get a few minutes. The candidates are going to get up to 3 minutes each. They don't have to use all 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We've got a room here, and we can move here and there. It's going to be easier than having people walk from the back of the room. 3 minutes. I think I heard somebody say 3 minutes.
We're going to do, yes, up to 3 minutes. They don't have to use 3 minutes. Just whatever
like that, Kevin. Thank you. Good seeing you, man. So,
It's on Facebook, on the event page. Oh, yes, I'm going to put this on the podium right here. Turn it so that the people who are speaking can be seen. Okay, I had technical difficulty, and so one of the wonderful people who is speaking as Chair Claire Kennedy actually helped me figure this out, so I hope everybody can see it up right now. Is that not the craziest thing? I don't know. But I hope that you all enjoy the rest of this program. We're getting ready to talk to the candidates.
And the chairs? Yeah, we'll make sure you.
I put my name on to say something, and I don't want to get up and talk.
Oh, okay. Do you want to just tell Leslie that she has you want to like an announcement, or you sign up for the stage chair?
No, I want to take my name off that list.
For announcement?
Or whatever I chair. And that I announce.
Oh, okay.
She just said illegitimately selling it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. It depends on how late it is, but yeah. And she's actually one. Okay. These microphones, you need to get them right up close to your mouth because they don't pick up too well from a distance. So when you use the mic, get it up close.
All right, let me see. I think we can see the podium. That's all I want to get.
I didn't know that much, and I think that when I heard that, there's got to be something. And it didn't sound like it was after she talked
Who's ready to get started?
Mick Rosado will be going first, and she is running for vice chair. Dr. Paula Price is going to be on deck, and Jake Merrick is in the hole. Yeah, baseball talk. Okay, so I am going to ask, if you can hear me, I just want to make sure everybody can hear. We're going to give the candidates up to 3 minutes, and you guys don't have to use all 3 minutes if you don't want to. But I know Dr. Paula Price is a preacher, so she's going to use her 3 minutes. And I am going to ask, if one of the candidates says something that you don't agree with, I'm going to ask you to please not share that with the whole room, okay? We need to be respectful. One of the things that we were very intentional about is we invited everyone. No one was excluded from this, well, Democrats. We don't have Democrats.
But she made an appearance.
Please be respectful of the candidates. After each person speaks, that's the time to applaud. We are not going to take questions after because we would be here all night. So once you finish your speech, we're not taking questions. If we have some time at the end, we might as a group do something like that.
Sure.
But you can talk to them one-on-one individually, okay? We're not going to be in a rush to throw anybody out of here. We're going to be here till 9 o'clock. So if you guys want to stay and mingle and eat up the Little Debbie snack cakes, you can do that. Okay, so our first is Mick Rosado. So after Mick is Dr. Paula Price, and I'm just going to have you guys hand the microphone to the next person as we go. Okay? Okay. Sounds
Put
good
it up
to me.
close to your mouth.
Okay. My glasses.
No.
That's what you tell them.
Hey, you have to. Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, good. You know my voice carries. So, okay, don't start my time yet. Okay. Good evening. My name is Mick Rosado, and I worked for 28 years as a nurse focusing on management, coordination, communication, and oncology education. In the latter part of the John Bennett administration, I was the Deputy Volunteer Director. Thank you, Vince. Currently, I host a weekly podcast called The Conservative Continuum. So, my goal is seeking the office of State OKGOP Vice Chair. And the reason why is because I want to make a tangible difference in the service to the state of Oklahoma. There is a groundswell of Oklahomans whose desire is to be actively engaged. They want to be involved in their local community and the GOP. We need Republicans who can bring those communities together and who can connect them, who realize that this will funnel vital funding into our organization, and such visionaries will be able to renew the grand old party and restore the former greatness of the Republican Party to Oklahoma. We need a vice chair who is ready, willing, and able to move forward. Someone who will stand shoulder to shoulder with the chairman in a supportive role and assist in refining the state committee body and the leadership team. A person that can connect with people and keep us on track. I also believe that the vice chair should strengthen the county and community ties and relationships through holding precinct training and attending meetings around the state. They should also promote the development of outreach events, develop a standardized call to action, and or the formation of county brigades, which a few of the counties have already instituted. Coordinate with conservative organizations and groups to advance party growth, conservative values, identify up-and-coming leaders, and promote open discourse. Form a Get Out the Vote digital and canvassing framework. Organize candidate support campaigns at all levels. We're talking school boards, city councils, all the way up to the federal. These should feature education on the basics of how to run for office, how to run a campaign, and how to support and bolster good candidates. Also, we must analyze our state party rules to ensure that the OKGOP reflects transparency, accountability, and standardization at its core. Thank you all so much for this opportunity for me to share my vision with you this evening. Thank you.
We have coffee now. First of all, I'd like to thank you for receiving me. I am Dr. Paula Price. Currently, I'm holding the position of State Committee Woman for Tulsa County GOP. So some of you know me because I've been circulating. I cannot tell you that I am 100% ready to jump in, but I can tell you that there's a strong calling on my life and a passion to handle where we are. You know, I do an annual event every year, and the theme never changes. Where we are, what we face, and taking the lead. Those are the three things that we are trusted with today. I have my short time with the Republican Party. Can tell you my greatest concern is that the soul is taken.
Yes.
Someone gutted the soul. And we are going to have to accept that, but we can't lay down and cry about it. We're going to have to say, where is our soul? How do we recover it? And what talents, gifts, and guts does it take to recover all? Because that's what I see. I was an account executive, a major account executive for AT&T. I was part of its divestiture. I recognize what's going on here because that divestiture looked just like this. People lost hope. They lost faith. There was infighting. There was upward mobility. Everybody was trying to get the power that was for grabs because all of this power happened. I would like to see a move toward regaining the soul. We can have all of the tasks and responsibilities and duties we want, but a broken people will not respond.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to accept we're broken, but we can be fixed.
That's right.
We have been beaten, but we're not destroyed.
That's right.
And we're going to have to start, whoever you choose, whoever you elect, has got to be in it for the fight of total recovery. And that starts with winning people's trust, making them aware of what happened. They trusted this party. Some of them 30, 40, and 50 years. We've got to win that back.
That's right.
And we've got to tell them what we'll do differently. Lastly, we're going to have to be ready for change. Because change, people hate. And change is the only way these people are going to believe us again. They're going to have to see new faces.
That's right.
They're going to have to see new ideas. They're going to have to see new visions. We're going to have to change that rhetoric. I like who talked about the rhino. If I don't ever hear that word again, I'll be ready to go to heaven. But I want to say this. I came in as a newcomer, and I'm telling you, I'm looking for my place. How many people out there want to come to you? You're going to have to change. You got to change the look, you got to change the style, and you got to change the colors. Because there's talent out there. And there are warriors out there. And there are fighters out there. And they don't care about the stuff that got us here. They care about what's going to get them where they want to be.
That's right. Yeah.
My last word is this. Change is scary, and only the bold will face the need for it and then fight to make it so. Thank you for that.
That's right.
We can go home. Thank you. I can echo so much of what you just said. Senator Jake Merrick, Senator of District 22, for just a few more weeks. I was ousted by the establishment. Because I just don't compromise. I just decided in my race that I was going to maintain integrity. And the way you do that is you know who you are and you know what you believe, and that doesn't change no matter what room you're in.
That's right.
And it's pretty simple. I'm not. You said you're not sure if you've decided yet if you're going to run. I most definitely have not decided that I'm going to run for this, but I told Leslie that I would pray about anything. And if the Lord is in it, I'm in it 110%. And I know that He's got my front and my back, and I can go in wherever with boldness and courage and do what needs to be done. And so whether that's in this position or another position or just working out in the community, I told the people in the last race, this last campaign, whether I win or I lose, the fight is the same.
That's right.
I'm going to do the same thing whether I'm in the Capitol or outside of the Capitol. And I believe that we have an opportunity outside of the Capitol that is even more rich than inside.
Yes, that's
the
right.
problem actually is not in the Capitol. The problem is out in the culture.
Yeah.
That means the answer is also out in the culture. That means that we all have a responsibility in our neighborhoods, in our families, to get busy and to talk about what's right, that there is a right and there is a wrong. There's a way to live that leads to life, and there's a way to live that leads to destruction. It's an eternal truth. And so when you live by that, it's easy to talk about that wherever you go and legislate that way, even if it means you may not last too long. That's okay. I say all the time, if you have to have it, you're a dangerous person.
Yeah. Yes.
If it's all about getting reelected, that's where you compromise.
Right.
And I decided I don't have to have that position. I don't have to be reelected. I don't have to wear a cute little pin. Okay? That's not what defines me. It's not what I live for. But many do, and they become dangerous people because they're willing to do whatever it takes to keep the office. You can't have that. I believe it's important to ask people not just what they believe, but why they believe it. Yeah, you're for the Second Amendment. Why? You don't believe in abortion. Why? Don't give me the bullet points of it's on all the Republican mailers.
Right.
That the Republicans themselves didn't even write. Their consultants wrote it.
Right. Right.
Right?
That's right.
And it's easy to write a mailer that just appeases people and wins votes. But we got to know why people are running. What do you truly believe at your core? Because that's how you're going to live. That's right. That's how you're going to vote.
Preach.
So let me tell you what I do, what I'm working on. I want to, show you this. It's called 100K Friends. This is our grand announcement here tonight. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I believe it is a real viable solution in the grassroots. But also I want you to see what I'm working on because you need to know what people are already doing. Don't get them into office and then ask them to do something. Just look at what they're already doing. And then you say, are you going to continue doing that? Do you want to expand that vision? This is what I'm doing. I want to work against dark money because $350,000 by calling them out. I want to work against corporate health care. I want to work against woke education.
Yeah.
I want to work against fake news.
Yeah.
I want to work against the corrupt legal system.
Yeah.
And then 5 more things real quick. I don't just want to curse the darkness. I want to bring the light. So we got to bring change and create change. So I want to support and vet good candidates, the right candidates.
Yeah.
Get this, money behind them.
Yeah.
Actually fund the good ones.
That's right.
And go head to head with the dark money.
That's right.
With as much money as they have.
That's right.
Right.
I want to create a new health system that's actually focused on true health, not keeping you in a broke system dependent on insurance and pharmaceuticals. I want to create new educational systems with new schools teaching the Constitution and things that this country is built on. I want to promote good conservative media outlets like OTU, like Project 46, these that are rising up and saying, we're going to give you the real news. And last thing, and I'm going to leave because I know I'm over time, I want to promote local training, talking about how to use a firearm safely. What is the Constitution? Where did it come from? These kinds of things. How to organic farm and promote the food chain here in Oklahoma.
Yes.
These very practical things. So that's what I'm about. That's what I'm already doing. If God calls me into an office, I'm just going to keep doing that. Thank you for your time. We have a table outside if you want to see the info on that.
Charity Lynch, Claire Kennedy, and Brian Hobbs. You are the next 3 up. Charity.
I too am not announcing that I'm running for anything at all. But I was asked to consider it, and I will consider it. Right now, what I do is I homeschool my kids because I don't trust the kids. I don't trust the schools.
Yeah. Right.
Charity Lynch.
I'm sorry, what?
Charity Lynch.
Charity
She's the
Lynch.
chairman in Craig County.
Yes, I was
Craig
going to
County.
get to that. Yes. My husband and I also pastor a large children's ministry, mostly to bus kids, where we go and get kids where their parents don't go to church. I'm the policy analyst for America's Frontline Doctors. I've been working for them for about 2 years. And what we're doing in Craig County is amazing. The precincts has been the focus, and that is how we bring people in. But precincts are not how we make a difference in our counties. The brigades, which we've implemented, and then we've brought it to other counties to implement there. We are dividing and conquering and sending people to different places in our community that need attention instead of everybody trying to go to every meeting. We say, okay, hey, you go to city council, you go to school board, you take care of the farmers, and we split it up, and then we come back together and we talk about it, and we say, what do we need to do? And the divide and conquer strategy is working, and it gives people a place. So where we were having 4 people come, on Labor Day, I had 52, and that was a small crowd. Nice. And it's small, that it's, when people have a place, people want to do something. They just need direction, they didn't know what to do.
Yes.
And so we put a lot of effort in the GOP, I've noticed, in precincts, and that is valuable. But that is not where the difference is made. That just gets them in the door. How do you retain them?
Yeah.
You have to give people a job, and we have to actually make a difference and figure out, okay, we want to do this in our schools. We want this change. We want that. How do we actually do it? I'm tired of hearing the talk, right?
Yes.
How do you actually implement it? Where's the actual plan?
Right.
And so, you know, that's what we do in Craig County. It's being very successful. As a matter of fact, the Democrats hate us. And
Good.
And they're actually starting to send spies to our meetings because we talked about the commissioners in the last meeting, and all of a sudden, 2 days later, the Democrat chairman calls me and says, we want to have a commissioner debate for the first time in years. And the bridge that we highlighted that hadn't been touched in 4 years is fixed all of a sudden, right after this debate, and it's making the paper. Look at what we're doing. So to me, that lets me know that they're sending people in because they're scared of the difference that we're making.
Yeah.
We need to be doing that on a state level.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Claire Kennedy.
Like Charity, can you hear me?
Yeah, just keep it real close to you.
Like Charity and so many, I'm really not running, but I am. This gives me a platform where I can talk to you about Grassroots. Because like Charity and like so many here, they understand that's where the real strength of our party is in the grassroots.
Right.
All they need is development and education, and they're off. They're off and running. They need encouragement. And from the state, it's so important for us to be really aware of this. This is where our street creds come from. This is where the leadership can be grounded and can be really powerful, is when the grassroots are energized, they're functioning, they're activated, they're working. Pretty soon, we'll get people coming to us like candidates, because that's what this does. We also have a fabulous opportunity right now. We all know the mood of the country. There are more volunteers wanting to come to us now than ever before, and to miss this opportunity is a huge mistake. I want to address all you leaders who really want to lead. Please remember and do the grassroots. Real quick, I want to show you something. This is this year, this summer, in a House District chair. Guess which precinct was walked? Which precinct was worked? For the runoff. Oh, I'm sorry. I did that backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's, guess which precinct? 507. Why? That was mine. I got scared 3 days before, and I went and walked the precinct. That's what happened. The other one is the runoff. We walked 3 precincts. We had about 60%. Folks, 60% is a landslide.
That's sad.
And that's what happens when you walk your precincts. That is the kind of power that walking and knocking on doors, getting in touch with your voters, this is what happens.
Yeah.
This is just a couple of months old. But I've got many more stories like this. My precinct turned out twice as many voters for the mayoral race. 11% voters turned out. 6% of the Oklahoma City voted at David Holt. So it works. It's the most important thing you do. This gives us the power to elect candidates. This gives us grounding for leadership. And this is the way we can communicate instantly with the voter. for call to actions. There's a state legislature going on, voting for this candidate, information about this event, what's going on with this legislation. And believe me, they want to know this.
Sure.
I do training and love to do training. And so, if any of you want me, just let me know. my main message tonight is grassroots. Please do not forget these grassroots. I'm like Paula. The soul has been lost.
That's right.
And it can be found in the grassroots.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, Brian Hobbs is up. Sean Roberts on deck. Wayne Hill in the hole.
All right, my name is Brian Hobbs. I'm a former mayor of a little town called Newkirk, Oklahoma. I was the field operations director under John Bennett. Most of you here, I think, I know most of you. How many of you supported John Bennett? Well, me and Sean Roberts here, we cooked up a plan probably 3.5 years ago, and we decided that our party was moving in the wrong direction. That we had too many Democrats posing as Republicans.
Yeah.
And we still, yes, and we still do.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's probably gotten worse, unfortunately. So we made a conference call to our friend John Bennett and asked John to run for chairman. And he said, "I thought you guys were my friends." That was a good one. How many of you guys are tired of being told to sit down and shut up?
Yeah.
Because our values are what this party's built on. And yeah, we may differ on a little bit here and there, but the lion's share is built right into our state platform, which at 23rd and Lincoln, nobody seems to want to follow. Our vision, and it's still my vision, and I know it's still Sean's vision, is to hold our elected officials to that party platform. Because if they don't, then what's the point of having a party? What's the point of all these meetings? Why do we spend our time doing this? Before I get on that tangent, I just want to say thank you to all the folks who put this on, all the hard work. Leslie didn't point it out, and none of them ever do, but none of these people spent a dime. John Bennett spent his own money. Everybody sitting up here spent their own money. They did this pro bono to defend this state, this party, our values, and this country.
Yeah.
And thank you for standing the line. I know we got Kim Warner. I can't go through everybody because we've got a lot of leaders here. But thank you all. You know who you are for what you do. And who here is a member of OKGOP? Yeah, exactly. And Leslie touched on this. These groups are very important. And we dovetail in with those, and it is important. The work they do is important. OKHPR, OPAC, these groups, we've got to consolidate our power, and we've got to take back our party.
That's right.
Because if we don't, and we don't have anybody shining the flashlight on the cockroaches, they get away with it.
That's right.
And if nobody's calling them out, and nobody's holding their feet to the fire, they're going to continue to think it's okay.
That's right.
And it's not. And so I've been asked to, because I share very like values with my friend John Bennett, my friend Sean Roberts, to consider running for one of these positions. I've prayed about it. I've talked to my wife about it. She's prayed about it. And we were having the conversation today, and I'm still praying about it. I'll wrap up. And, I don't want to sound too extreme here, but if you're not familiar with the Night of the Long Knives, people thought things couldn't go sideways in Nazi Germany too, and it did so very quickly.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm not saying that the government's coming to swoop you up tonight. What I'm saying is we're in a very dangerous time in our nation's history.
That's right.
And you see fit, and God sees fit, that I'm willing to serve in whatever capacity that means. Just as I was with you guys, I'm still willing to do that, whether it's as a chair, vice chair, or just part of the team. I don't care, whatever that means. So thank you for your time, and God bless.
Woo!
out there since the campaign ended in August. It was a very tough campaign. If you don't know me, I'm Sean Roberts, also known as the Patriot. I've been fighting for many, many years. How many are chairmen here, vice chairs?
Chairs and vice chairs.
Any of them.
Oh.
Very good. I want to thank you as a state representative for serving, and all the other volunteers out here for everything you do. Every time I go to OK2A, I always tell everybody, we can't do what we do getting bills passed, protecting our rights, without you. Because I have to count on your support to make those phone calls, contact your other reps and senators to make it happen. So I'm going way off on where I was going to go. So anyway, back in 2008, I got elected as the chairman of the Osage County Republican Party. That was my first introduction to party politics. I've always been a Republican. I'm not one of those guys who just switch parties.
Yes. Yeah.
That's rare up there at the Capitol. So anyway, 2 years I served as the chairman, made sure we got Republicans elected. Got elected as state representative. I've represented District 36 for 12 years. I am termed out, and it has been such a blessing. God laid it upon my heart to run, and He helped me the entire way. He put people in my path like Brian and Don and Wayne and so many others, so many people I've met here along the way. And it takes everybody's effort to get things done and really save our country from the attacks that the Democrats have waged against us the entire time.
That's right.
So,
And Republicans.
And Republicans.
Amen.
If I had more than 3 minutes, I could talk for 3 hours about the stories. Well, those would be some good stories. Fighting Republicans in our own party to get things like constitutional carry passed, to get the bill that we just got passed this year to end abortion in Oklahoma. And they're still fighting us. What's that? We had to fight Republicans. So when people use the term rhino, they're not wrong. And I'm not saying there are people who disagree with what we believe on each point, but there are some people. One from Tulsa who is not going to run anymore. There's several others. I mean, I ran against one in the primary.
Yeah.
If you know who they really are, you'll understand. And I wish I had more than 3 minutes. So, but we need fighters, and we need somebody that's going to do like John Bennett and hold people accountable.
Yeah.
In Tulsa County on the campaign trail has brought up, how can we hold them accountable? How do we hold elected Republicans accountable? I won't say what somebody else said, but I will say this. At the end of the day, we do it together. Whoever the chairman is, I'm not saying I'm running right now. I have been asked to run. I am considering it, praying about it. But whoever it is, we do it together.
Yeah.
We have to work together, grassroots, leadership, to make sure you have relationships with those people who are making the wrong decisions up there, who you would never know that your state rep or senator, and Jake, are you still in your?
Yeah, his brother had to go emergency surgery.
Okay, so he knows too. How many of them out there are making the wrong decisions? I'm sorry, I'm going to go over.
Lots.
There's a lot. I can't tell you how blessed I am to be in Oklahoma and to have fought with Don and so many other people like Nathan Dom and Jake Merrick, Hamilton, and I could go on and on and on of true patriots that we do have up there. So we do have real patriots up there besides myself who are fighting for what we believe in as conservatives. It's kind of like Donald Trump when he fought all the way he has done the entire time and took all the arrows for us.
Right.
It's going to take all of us, though, standing up and fighting and moving the ball forward and making sure that your voice is heard and that we work together and we make this party what it could be and get more people elected that are true Republican conservatives.
That's right. That's right.
It does not take a lot of money. I never raised a lot of money. I got elected 6 times. I was this close. Governor Stitt called me the night of the election, and was just blown away about how well I did. Outspent, I think, what was it, Brian? $500,000 to 20,000 overall.
I think it was closer to 800,000 to like 50,000.
So 53 to 47. Wow. So we can do it. I know how to get the message out. Whether I'm the chair or not, I'm going to continue to fight for what I believe in, our God-given rights. Right. We will continue to move the ball forward and protect our rights and make sure that our conservative principles are protected. So thank you so much.
Miles and then AJ. That's our last three.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
My name is Wayne Hill. First of all, Sean Roberts is my state representative. I want to recognize him. He has been an outstanding conservative voice. So I'm the Osage County GOP chairman. I'm also with the Oklahoma Second Amendment Association. I'm the state chapter director.
Yeah.
So, I want to give you my, also I was in the healthcare industry for 40 years. I had to resign because I would not take the shot.
Yeah.
I will not compromise.
Yes.
So first of all, I want to give you my political philosophy. I believe in our founding documents, the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Yes.
We
That's
are
right.
endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among those are life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness.
That's right.
To preserve those rights, governments are instituted by men. There's a lot of truth in that. Those are foundational principles. We're all created equal.
That's right.
They also are liberties come from our Creator, not from government.
That's right.
And also, governments are instituted by men. It's our responsibility to protect those God-given liberties that we have been endowed with.
Right.
I firmly believe in the U.S. Constitution that Article 1, Section 8 gives the federal government a certain limited 18 enumerated powers. Yep. That's it. They've way overstepped their authority.
That's right.
The 9th and 10th Amendment gives all other authority to the people, you and me, and to the states. We need to keep our state elected officials accountable and also tell them, you need to take up for our liberties at the federal level. So no, the last
Preach it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am concerned about our republic, and we are a republic. We're not a democracy.
No.
I'm very concerned. I fear for what my children and my grandchildren will inherit. If we don't stand up and take bold, concise stands, we're going to lose these God-given liberties.
That's right. That's right.
They were given to us by our ancestors. It's our responsibility to give them to the next generation.
Right.
So, in order to be I'm running for vice chair, by the way. I want to recognize Don Spencer also. And also Terry Thompson. I want to recognize Terry. So, with OKGOP, I set up 50 county chapters across the state in over a 3-year period of time. We started out with 3, while my responsibilities were to help get these new chapters established, educate our coordinators on how to run an effective meeting, and also coordinate them to actually communicate with their legislators at the grassroots level to put pressure on our legislators to pass OKGOP legislation. And whenever Don told our members to call the Capitol, we shut down.
That's right.
We shut down the thing.
There you go.
There's 4 sides to the square, and each side has to move harmoniously to make it work. The caller has to make the calls at work, otherwise it all breaks down. Well, in my mind, the 4 sides are the precinct, the county, the congressional district, and the state committee members. And at the level of the caller, i.e. the chair, he's carrying out the voice of the state committee, not himself. And I've been asking the wrong question when people have approached me, are you going to run for chair? And I've been asking if it would be worth my time. And I realized yesterday during Mass, during the homily, is that that's the wrong question to be asking, because our deacon was talking about, are we going to church to be seen or to see? And for me, I'm going to see.
That's right.
And it dawned on me to transfer that over, and I wrote it down here so it's not just throwing out word garbage, is I know I was there to see, and everyone here today, I believe, not only wants to hold the line of conservatism, but fight to push that line forward. And that's what our mind has to be. So are we here because it provides something to us, or we want to provide something for others? Me, I believe that we want to provide something for others. And whenever we talk about others, whether it be, far right or whatever, we've heard the term establishment. I like to swap that term with self-destructive Republican, because anyone willing to throw a grenade and just laugh at the collateral damage is a self-destructive individual. And I don't want anyone in our party doing that. And I think everyone can agree that we're on the same playing field. And with that said, is when we have a shared goal that we work towards together, we don't spend time fighting against one another. Is what we were able to accomplish is, I don't see Dwayne if he left. Dwayne Schroyer, for example, was able to spend hundreds of hours with dozens of volunteers sorting through bankers' boxes of receipts to prepare for that audit, and then digitize it through a system that I implemented to ensure that our FEC audit was responded to. And we need to ensure that those systems are set up for the future, because the only type of accountability happens through transparency and self-accountability.
Yes.
And we need someone with a vision. Now back to the original question that I was asking incorrectly when people asked if I was going to run. The question should be, is it worth our time? Is it worth our time to set something up like that? Is it worth our time to work towards that shared goal? Because what can be accomplished is we can make the state a resource for county congressional districts of precincts, where historically it hasn't been. And we need someone who has a vision to set up that and provide the necessary foundation for everyone so they have a voice. Not just one voice overwhelming everyone else's, but one voice for each person. So that way, the individuals who are self-destructive will out themselves, because self-accountability occurs when their voice is heard. Because if their actions don't meet the words, it's called out. But the question that I need answered from you is if you believe it's worth my time, because I've asked others to run for state chair. I don't know if this is something that I want to commit to right now. But what would tell me if this is the right path forward, because I know God allows me to put every step in front of the next, is confidence that you believe that it is worth our time. And if you want to tell me that, please let me know after this. I'm happy to answer questions. And I'm also at an advantage because 6 months ago I did run for chair for a special election to fill the rest of Bennett's administration. And so if you go to milesforoklahoma.com, I still have that website up if you want to know what my vision was back then. But real quick, before I forget, is my wife and I, we run a conservative media company here in Oklahoma, and this Saturday here in Oklahoma City at the northeast corner of Rockwell and Hefner, we're doing a Halloween event. It's a candidate meet and greet with a costume contest for kids. We're going to give away a bike, there's going to be door prizes. It's to get people out, get the candidates in front of people, because Oklahoma County is extremely important. We lost it in 2018, and that's how we got the horn. And we don't want it. Other than that, thank you so much for your time, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Well, good evening. I'm AJ Ferrati. I'm your current state party chair. and I'm intending to run again as state party chair for another term in May. Now, we have many of you may not know when convention is. We're actually looking at May 4th and 5th. It's a 2-day convention because we got a lot of business from the last convention that didn't get addressed, and we're going to get the opportunity to deal with that right up front this time. Now, let me tell you just a little bit about what we've been doing. So for the past 5 months, and I jumped in right there before the runoff, so we had to get moving. We've been raising money. In fact, just last week we raised $60,000. We've been doing that on a regular basis. Those are the sort of things that we have been doing to put in place. What have we been doing with that money? We sent out 50,000 mail pieces last week. We're sending out another 50,000 mail pieces this week. There's going to be text messages. We've been providing the counties with a walking app. And not only is it a walking app, you can press buttons on it and you can actually make phone calls if you don't want to go walking that day. Those are the sort of things that we have put in place. Those are the sort of things that we have implemented to make you successful. Now, just up the street, Senator Langford and Vice President Pence are up the street having an event. I came here tonight because you, the grassroots, we the grassroots, are what is going to build this party on a going forward basis. I want to see this party succeed. I want to see it continue to grow. And those are the sort of things that we are going to continue to do. We have the professional people that downtown, some have referred to them as the tall building people. Those are people that have been coming in and bringing us the contributions. Those are the sort of things we can take that money and we can actually use it to the benefit of you, the grassroots, so that we can actually build this party, so we can grow this party, so we can continue to win on a regular basis here in the state of Oklahoma. We're in a horrible, horrible situation here in Oklahoma County in particular. I think Ken can speak to this. Oklahoma County, because we've had such great success, people want to come to Oklahoma County. Unfortunately, we've got Democrats coming into Oklahoma County. We're becoming a purple county. And so we need to contemplate how we're working in this county and how we're working in other counties and trying to bridge the gap of communicating a proper conservative message to each and every Republican across the state. Now, I could go on, and I know that there's probably a lot more time, but I'd rather meet with you one-on-one. I got a little bit of time before we're going to go, and I know I'm the last one. But I want to thank you for your involvement. Thank you for being here tonight on a night when you didn't have to be here. And I look forward to getting to know you even better than I do now. And I'm AJ Ferrati, and I am running for your state board chair. Thank you.
So I just want to say, so where do we go from here? We're priming the pump is all we're doing. We don't have an anointed person that we're supporting. We're not for anybody per se. What we think is that it's time to look for leadership, emerging, and we're going to let you decide who you want to support and let these people decide if they want to run and how they want to reach out to you in your counties. I just want to say one thing. County chairman, stand up, please. County vice chairman, stand up. County committee members, stand up. Okay. County committee members, stand up. Elected representatives, stand up. Okay. District representatives, chair, vice chair, stand up. Thank you for what you've been doing, laboring the game for years. We're just trying to, prime the pump and get this discussion started. So we want to thank you very much.
Okay, so we have some announcements, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these, and since we have a few minutes, if you have an announcement, okay, we're going to keep it to 1 minute, okay? Jamie, if they go, when they get to 59 seconds, I need to
Hold the
throw
mic.
phone at them. Okay, so I'm gonna read a few. So one that I want to make sure that I mention is sign waving for Kevin Calvi. Where's Kevin Calvi's campaign? Okay, back here in the corner, there's an initiative for sign waving, so you can sign up with him back here for the different shifts. This is a very important race. If
Very
you're
important.
in Oklahoma County,
Very important.
you hear what's going on throughout the country with corrupt DAs, right? We don't need that here. We need Kevin Calvi to be elected. This is a very important. If you can, sign up to wave signs for the campaign, or you can contribute, or whatever else you'd like to do this morning. The Lion's Den, if you haven't been to that, that is a fantastic group that meets once a month. The next one is on the 27th from 6 to 9 p.m.
Basically, it's a work night.
It is.
We're working for candidates.
Okay.
We had 85 show up last Thursday.
Holy cow.
We can have that many or more. We can help every candidate Republican who brings materials. We put signs together, stuff envelopes, address envelopes, put the stamps on. We do it.
Where?
It's at Liberty Fairview Baptist Church, the corner of
Except Rhonda said she doesn't know if we have enough work for everybody.
You gotta work.
Okay.
So you show up, you gotta work.
That's right. So if you're a candidate or you have a candidate running for office, let them know that the Lion's Den, they do a lot of work. I mean, they hand address envelopes and do all kinds of stuff. So understanding the threat, Mick is the one to reach out to for that. If you're not familiar with understanding the threat, that is what our former chairman, John Bennett, that is his company. He's the vice president. And they go around the country teaching about the threat of not only the Islamic threat, but the Marxist threat as well. So get with Mick Rosado if you're interested in signing up for that class. Eagle Forum, Sandy is, there you are.
Can I say just
Do you want to say? Yeah, if you want to speak.
All right.
Sorry about that.
For credibility, is this on?
Yes.
For credibility, I'm going to drop a few names. So, who has heard of Eagle Forum? Raise your hand. A few. Who has heard of Phyllis Schlafly? Oh, good. Who's heard of Bunny Chambers? There you go. Okay, well, Bunny Chambers, who was our state committee woman for years and years and years, was good friends with Phyllis Schlafly. Phyllis Schlafly, back in 1970, she started the Eagle Forum. This is a nationwide group of ladies, of women, who pretty much single-handedly brought down the ERA.
Yeah.
Why do I bring that up? Because Eagle Forum knows how to work with the Republican Party to activate the grassroots, because Eagle Forum are women who believe in the traditional family. So you can be dual citizens. You can be a Republican, you can be involved, and you can be a part of Eagle Forum. So if you ladies are interested, we'll take men too, but the ladies really run this organization. So if you'll talk to me afterward, I'll be hanging around a little bit, or to make it, to really expedite it, put your name and your email address on your name tag and just stick it on my paper and you'll get connected to us. So that'll make it really easy. Yeah. Thank you.
So just a quick note, my law firm actually represents Eagle Forum, and I gotta tell you, they're a great group, so if you're not involved with them, you should be getting involved with them. Thank you.
All right. Oklahoma Liberty and Integrity. It says vote on election day. Oh man. Vote. I think that's the only announcement is to vote on election day for that one. And then move school board elections. Okay. Lincoln Reagan dinner is. Yes, I will let you do that. Lincoln Reagan dinner is February 25th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. And of course, you can reach out to Ken Warner. And Ken, I was going to I'll let you speak real fast and then I'll let you talk about this.
As you know, this year's Lincoln Reagan was wonderful. We raised enough money to be able to give $70,000 to our local candidates. And so we decided what could we do better next year. And so we did a simple thing. Next Lincoln Reagan dinner will be February 25th, 2023. Our keynote speaker will be Steve Bannon.
Woo!
you right now, but we are going to be creating a statewide coalition to help pass legislation to move school board elections from February to the groups that have already joining with us to do that, and that is our singular goal for that coalition. So if you have a grassroots organization that you're a part of that would like to join up with us in that, please come see me tonight and give me your information. And John has already signed up for that, so we appreciate it very much. Thank you.
And Miles shared about Project 46. Did you want to say anything else on that? Real fast. Real fast.
So school boards are obviously important. One thing that Project 46, our mission is to give a voice to everyone and get over the censorship that we're facing. And so we're going to be working in February to help with these school board races, and we profiled all 547 school districts in our state and every one of their board members to find out, okay, these are where the Democrats are, and then furthermore profile their agenda minutes, know where they're talking about discrimination policy, know where they're talking about CRT, and fight back. And so if you haven't checked us out, project46.com, spell it out, but come this Saturday to the Oklahoma County event we're having, northeast corner of Rockwell and Hefner, 1 to 3 p.m.
And OK2A, the next one is OK2A has t-shirts for sale. All right, here we go. He's excited about this.
Folks, Oklahoma Second Amendment Association is the most effective political group in the state and maybe the country. We got 15 bills passed last year, 10 this year, and we are still the only state in the union that has an repeat anti-red flag bill. That's all because of Don Spencer. In the middle of setting up an OK2A app. So keep your ear to the ground. We'll have an app for your phone here hopefully shortly. To help pay for that, because this is bloody expensive, folks, we are selling t-shirts. It's the first time in almost a year you've been able to buy an OK2A t-shirt. It's a new design. It's different from one we've ever done before. I wish I had a picture to put up here, but it's easy. Go to OK2A.org. OK2A.org. There's a big banner right there on our homepage. You can click on it. We've got short sleeve t-shirts, long sleeves, sweatshirts, hoodies. They're good quality. It's the same company that we did them last year. They're extremely high quality shirts and silk screening. Everyone in this room needs a shirt, and everyone of your family needs a shirt. Folks, this is one of the few chances you'll ever have in your life to look cool and do some good. All at the same time. I wrote a new slogan for us a couple of months ago. I'm going to lay it on you, spread it around. OK2A, we're not gun nuts, we're liberty nuts.
Yeah. Oklahoma County 912 has, let's see, Monday 11/7 at Johnny's. They meet there, and Carmenetta, are you still here? Carmenetta, did you want to say anything about it?
Decided that we meet the night before the election, 6:30 at Johnny's in the Village. We meet the first Monday of every month, and our next speaker is Cam Aloha, who's the Iron City, a Hispanic director here in Oklahoma City. So he'll be our speaker. Anybody can come.
Awesome. Okay, and the next announcement is your Apostolic Summit. Did you want to say anything about that? Okay.
Many people don't know that apostles are God's ambassadors. Our job is to restore kingdom, keep kingdom, build kingdom, and enrich kingdom. To that end, I have an annual event, and a summit is a meeting of high power. So I want to tell you, the reason I'm mentioning it here is because if there are business people here or entrepreneurs, I have a very unique guest coming. His name is, you can look him up, he's phenomenal. His name is Johnny Moore. He's just become the president of JDA Worldwide. You know him. He is a phenomenal man, so we can give him perspective. Johnny's company helped Trump get elected. He was their PR company. He is also the one that helped pull his spiritual council together. Why am I telling you? Because he's going to talk to us about how to be a business, how to be a ministry, and how to be effective to combat what's going to happen to us in 2023. He's only going to be one night. It's a banquet. And if you want to go, get more information, she has information. But my website is drpaulaaprice.com. This is not about, we keep talking about this is a spiritual warfare. But I never hear meetings about spiritual warfare. We hear about people, do you?
No, you're right.
We don't hear meetings. So you say this is a spiritual battle. And let's have a round. So I would strongly suggest you look him up. His company goes all the way back. It's an $11 billion company. And I think what he has to share for us to at least position ourselves to survive the inevitable. I would invite all of you all to do it again. You can get a flyer. If I run out, it's drpaulaaprice.com. He's on Wikipedia if you want to read all of his reach, which is global, as well as several other sites. I wanted to invite you because if we're going to fight, I think we probably need somebody to tell us the weapons of our warfare.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. That is everything I have officially on the sign up. So okay, here we go. We're gonna do open mic. You guys have 10 seconds now. We've got events. But one event is everyone needs to get out and vote.